years ago. The one no one else ever sent her to rehab for. I sat alone in the house for hours. No television, no lighting. Just a note. That note. The loan. My money. The money I make by working night shifts, weekends, holidays, driving Uber, freelancing, skipping meals, and sleeping less. $7,500. Gone. On a cruise. I opened the family group chat. Silence. Not even a Merry Christmas. I scrolled upward. My mom's last communication was from November. Remember to transfer the loan to Dad's account. We need to book before rates go up. Loan. They never referred to it as a gift, because they knew it wasn't. I remembered my mother's voice as she offered the idea. It's only a short-term loan. We will pay you back by February. Latest. You can always reschedule your dental appointment. I nodded. Because that is what I have always done. When they asked for money for Eric's school expenses, I nodded. When they asked for aid with Dad's gambling debt, I nodded. Ruby needed rent after she lost her job, aka resigned because her boss was rude, and I nodded. I always nodded. Because otherwise, I would be selfish, unhelpful, ungrateful. Family comes first. This is, after everything we've done for you. Done for me? They kicked me out when I was 17, because I refused to lie for Eric after he took Grandma's medicines. They did not attend my college graduation since they were too busy helping Emily move into her boyfriend's house. They forgot my birthday for 3 years in a row. But what about the money? Oh, I was abruptly reunited with my family. By the next morning, I had the answers. They weren't just taking a cruise. They were on the majestic Aurora, a luxury ship that was cruising the Caribbean for 10 days. Suite deck. A private butler. Infinity pool access. Gourmet foods. $3,000 per person. 4 of them. Emily posted a photo on Instagram, which she must have neglected to block me from seeing. All 4 of them were in bathrobes, clinking champagne glasses. The caption reads, "Finally some calm. Away from the leeches and negativity." Leeches. I laughed aloud. They took my money, left Grandma with leftovers, and labeled me a leech. That was when the final wire inside me snapped. And I was no longer sad. I was not even angry. I was concentrating. That evening Grandma discovered me in the garage. I was slumped over Dad's ancient filing cabinet, surrounded by heaps of paperwork, bills and old papers. She said nothing. I just witnessed myself scroll through decades of lies. I need to know everything, I informed her. Where did the money go? What they did? Who is in on it? She sat down next to me, took out an old notepad, and began flipping pages. Let's start with 2016, she remarked. That's when your mother took my pension login. By midnight we had the numbers. By the next day we had a plan. They rolled into the driveway like royalty. The same individuals who had abandoned me and Grandma with a note and a fridge full of rotting kale law returned home like heroes from war. Their laughter filled the home before the door even opened. Emily arrived first, pulling a luxury bag, her hair braided with ribbons and her nails freshly painted. Ugh, I am so glad to be back. That last dinner on the ship gave me hives. Behind her, my mother glided in with the grace of a soap opera villain, her sunglasses still on inside. Did you even clean up a little? She inquired, stepping over Grandma's shawl as though it were garbage. Dad followed, red-faced and bloated from the boat buffet. He grumbled when he noticed me. Oh, you're still here? Eric arrived last. He didn't even recognize Grandma, instead dropping his things by the couch and collapsing into it. I did not speak. I sat at the table, hands folded, calm and ready. Where's the food? Mom inquired, inspecting the kitchen as if she owned it. In the fridge, I said. Still plenty of the ham you left. Eric laughed. Are you still on that? He mumbled. Dude, just order takeout. It's not like you're broke. I stood up gently. Glad you're all here. Sit down. I've got something to show you. Eric rolled his eyes and fell into a chair. Dad cracked his knuckles. Emily was preoccupied with finding an outlet to charge her phone. I turned the laptop screen toward them and pressed the play button. The first video shows a spreadsheet. Not just any spreadsheet, a financial audit that I had spent 4 days creating with Grandma. Every dollar taken out of her pension account. Dad always used her card to make ATM withdrawals from fueling stations. Emily's Zelle payments for emergencies turned out to be Sephora and Apple expenses. Where'd you get this? Mom said, her voice tightening. From her bank, I explained. You should be more careful when using someone else's password. The second video shows images of Venmo transactions, account logins from Mom's devices, and pension access points that match Dad's bidding habits. Then emails. Mom wrote to Emily. He won't notice the missing cruise deposit. He trusts us too much. She responded. He's a softie. Plus, who leaves Grandma alone on Christmas anyway? My jaw constricted, but I continued. I could stop here, I stated. But I won't. One additional file. A voice recording. Ruby, Eric's wife, stood on our porch sobbing 2 nights ago. I didn't want to go. I begged him. But Eric said if you didn't give the money, they'd just leave her and deal with it later. I only stayed quiet because he said it'd all blow over. I'm sorry. I couldn't take it anymore. Eric sprang up. You recorded my wife? That's illegal. No, I replied. She asked me to. She said she was tired of lying for you. Tired of watching you bleed people dry. Dad stood there, face flushed with wrath. You little snake. You've been digging into our accounts like someone who's done being robbed, I snapped. I opened one last tab, which was a pre-written email. Subject: Formal report of elder financial abuse with evidence attached. 2. Social Security Fraud Division, Grandma's attorney, the county ombudsman, and 2 local media outlets. You have 48 hours, I continued, to return every penny, or I send this. All of it. Emily's hands trembled. You're bluffing. You'd ruin your own family. No, I replied. You ruined yourselves. I'm just sending the bill. Grandma stood slowly. She had not spoken a word the entire time. But now she came up to the top of the table, placed her hand on the back of a chair and said, I raised 3 of you. Fed you. Changed you. Protect you. And when I couldn't walk, you left me with frozen beans and moldy pie while you sipped champagne on stolen money. You're lucky it's him coming after you. Because if it were me alone. She drifted off, but the room went silent. The message was loud. Dad growled something beneath his breath and rushed out. Emily cried and sought to hug Grandma, but she turned away. Eric simply scowled at me. You're not family anymore. I smiled. I'm finally free. They didn't think I'd do it. They assumed I was faking. Even after I delivered the email in front of them. Even after Grandma glared at them with silent, aged wrath. They still believed they could outwit me, manipulate me, wear me down. But what about the quiet version of myself? The one who nodded, paid, and said thank you for the crumbs? He died after spending $7,500 from my money on piña coladas and a ship buffet. The first 24 hours were silent. Not a single message, no apologies. Only Grandma and I were in that empty, too quiet house, having microwave porridge and taking turns checking our bank accounts. Nothing arrived. On the second day I sent an email. Each file, each screenshot, every recording is tagged and dated. Filed with state authorities and CC'd to every news desk within a 100-mile radius. At 6:13 p.m., I received this response. Thank you for your submission. A case has been opened. On the third day, it detonated. Eric was the first to panic. I awoke to 12 missed calls and a deluge of texts, ranging from, we didn't mean it like that, to the contrary. You're seriously going to destroy your own family over some money? Then came Mom's classic. You're being emotional. Please take the post down. We'll talk. But I did not respond. Instead, I forwarded all messages to my attorney. Natalie, a lady, read through it all with surgical precision. She'd been working with Grandma's legal advisor since the day I recorded Ruby's confession. By midday that day, Natalie had issued legal letters of intent to suit my parents, Eric and Emily. She wasn't lying either. The charges include elder financial exploitation, unlawful access to retirement accounts, and theft of family loans. The sum owed, including interest and damages, is $14,322.85. The next night, Mom arrived at the door. She looked like she hadn't slept. She had no makeup on and her hair was sloppily put back. Can we talk? She inquired, her voice shaking. I crossed my arms. Only if you brought a checkbook. She dug inside her bag and took out a large envelope. Inside, there was a $7,500 cashier's check. My loan. No interest? I inquired. You're lucky to get this, she retorted. We're being destroyed by this mess you created.